Hey Colt, it's Mrs. Aladdin. I'm coming to you from Pope Beach in Lake Tahoe. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what I'm seeing today. Oh, there's my husband, and then there's the beach, and there's kids playing, and there's my son Luke. And it's really, the air quality is pretty bad out today, but it's a beautiful day out. It's probably like 80, and it's really a nice day to be outside. So we're hanging out at the beach. So here we go. We're going to do a little bit of reading from our book, The One and Only Bob, and we're starting with the chapter called A Very Handsome Dog. Hey, recording the video as my son attempts to stab his dad with a stick. That's really great. Okay, let's try it again. All right, A Very Handsome Dog. Hi, Aunt Kanaya, Ruby calls. Once again, Ruby, says Kanaya, I am not your aunt. I am a primate, and you, my dear, are not. More's the pity. But if Ivan is my uncle, then you have to be my aunt, Ruby declares. Ahem, says Ivan, pointing to the wall. My painting, Bob? I consider. It looks like a dog? Ruby flaps her ears. I can tell she's trying very hard to stay quiet. A very handsome dog, I add. Is it? It is, Ruby exclaims. It's you, Uncle Bob. Uncle Ivan told me. But who's that? I ask, pointing to another set of mud strokes. I thought you needed a companion, says Ivan. I know you must get lonely at home by yourself all day. It's true, but I've never mentioned that to Ivan. Guy's like a mind reader. I think Snickers and Bob would make a cute couple, says Ruby. I blink in disbelief. Bite your trunk. Ruby starts to reply, but her voice is drowned out by a sharp clap of thunder. Storm's getting close, says Kanaya. Ivan, dear, come on, you know how you hate the damp. It's true. He carries around an old burlap bag so he won't have to sit on wet grass. Ivan looks at me sheepishly. She knows me so well. Kudzu, one of the baby gorillas, bounds over and leaps onto Ivan's back. Ivan loves all the youngsters, but Kudzu is its favorite. I think she reminds him of his little twin sister Tag, who died when she was still a baby. Here's a picture of Ivan and Kudzu. Ride, Kudzu commands. Julia appears, her backpack at the ready. Bob, she calls, we need to get going. Ride now, Kudzu repeats, yanking on one of Ivan's ears. Looks like it's time to go, says Ivan. Good to see you, buddy. Stay dry, okay? Will do, big guy. I turn to Kanaya. Enchanted as always, my dear. A trumpeting noise cuts through the air. Uh-oh, says Ruby. That's Aunt Akello. Akello, the oldest of the elephant ants, lumbers over. Come on, Ruby, weather's getting bad. Just one more minute, Ruby pleads. Now. But I need to tell Uncle Bob one more riddle. Now, Akello repeats. Nobody ever listens to the little elephant, Ruby complains. You can tell me the riddle next time, kiddo, I say, winking at Akello. Ruby brightens. Okay, gotta go or I'll be in big trouble. Love you, Uncle Bob. See you later, Uncle Ivan and Aunt Kanaya. I'm not your, Kanaya begins, but Ruby is already galloping back to her herd. The beginning. In the distance, thunder growls, long and low and not giving up. Reminds me of my stomach pre-breakfast. I test the air. Weird. Something isn't right. Julia, it's George rushing over. Hurry up. You need to get inside. George has an odd scent, like he's on guard. I've only smelled it a few times on him. I look up. The clouds have turned strange shades of green and yellow and gray, clustered together like rows of fat marshmallows. It's so ugly, it's beautiful. I can't stop looking. The air goes still, like a cat before it leaps on its prey. Kanaya and Ivan and Kudzu are racing toward the gorilla villa. A fat raindrop hits my nose. Tastes wrong. How can rain taste dangerous? People are yelling and running, opening umbrellas, covering their heads with maps of the park. More drops. At the far end of the field, I can just make out Akello herding Ruby along. Another drop, a dry one, like a pebble. Hail, George says. Julia, now. He grabs her hand. Rumbling, the sky boils, swirls. Bob, Julia calls, come on. I move to leap off my perch, to run to Julia. I've done it 1,000 times, but this time I lose my footing. I never slip. I'm as nimble as Nutwit. But in the rain, the hail, I let out a yelp as I land on Ivan's side of the wall, splat in the mud. Bob, Julia screams. He'll be okay, George says. I can smell Julia's fear and George's doubt as he drags her away. Torn apart. Noise. It's all noise. Noise that hurts. Noise like a massive truck bearing down on us. The power of its engine, the inescapable wheels, the relentless roar. Nothing to see, nothing even to smell. Just the terrible sound of the world disintegrating. No way. I'm flying. This next chapter is called Airborne. Not far, just into the nearby giraffe domain. Not high, just enough to buzz the tops of the trees. Not long, just long enough to stop breathing. But I fly. I'm not alone. Half the world seems airborne. Trees, boards, bicycles, chunks of roof, umbrellas, chairs, bits and pieces of life. It all levitates past like some horrible magic trick. Something hits my head, a toy truck maybe, and I yelp in pain. And I'm terrified, so scared I pee myself. And I'll be the first to admit it. You try and see how dry your underwear stays, but still. I fly. Not like in the box with my brothers and sisters. Not like with the owl. This is different. This is me, Bob the dog, spending a moment as Bob the bird. Landing. It's over. I land hard on my rear and slide to a stop underneath Stretch, the oldest giraffe in the place. The roar, and by now I've realized we're talking about a real live tornado, vanishes as quickly as it came, leaving a vacuum, a silence that hurts more than the noise. Wow, so he was in so there's Bob underneath the giraffe. So what it sounds like happens is that the hurricane was coming, and then a tornado was a part of the hurricane, and Bob slipped, and it scooped Bob up and spun him around and sent him over to the giraffe domain. He's lucky he's alive. Bad dog. And this is why I'm a bad dog. Not like bad dog, like I chewed your favorite slippers. Bad dog, like I'm not a good representative of my species, of any species. I don't think Ivan, Ruby, Julia, are they all right? I've got to find them. That's what a hero dog would do. One of those guys on Man's Best Friend show. Hero dogs flash into flames and dig into rubble. Hero dogs are fearless. Nope, not my style. What do? Bob, untamed, undaunted. I howl like a newborn puppy. Honest. I'm not hurt. Banged up a little, sure, but nothing major. And I don't howl for long, but it's what I do. Like I said, I ain't a saint, but at least I'm honest about my feelings. Stretch. Slowly, with some difficulty, Stretch peers down between his two front legs. His body partially shelters me from the rain. A piece of canvas has draped itself around his neck like an ugly scarf. I swallow my howls. We look at each other, too stunned to form actual words. Finally, Stretch clears his throat. Hello, he says in a strangely calm voice. What kind of animal might you be, if you don't mind my asking? Dog. I didn't think you guys flew. We don't, as a rule. I pick myself up, move out from under Stretch, and take in the surroundings. The pelting rain has slowed some. The wind has dulled. What was that? Stretch asks, trying and failing to yank the canvas off his impressive neck. A tornado, I think. I've seen tornadoes on the Weather Channel. They look like water swirling down a drain. If the water were black and full of trunks and trees, they look like death. I gaze up at him. I have to crane my neck. Are you okay? Yep, says Stretch, but from what I can see, a lot of other folks aren't. Aardvarks. Across the way I hear something, a small squeak. Who lives over there? I ask Stretch. The aardvark family, he replies. Lovely neighbors. Carefully, I venture across Stretch's domain. The sky is dark as dusk. I hear a flutter of wings overhead. It's Mitch, the mockingbird. He's missing some feathers. Bob, he calls, sitting on a fence post. Was that you I saw up there? Yep. How are things looking? Not good. A lot of damage. Well, take care of yourself, I say. Likewise. He pauses to straighten a wayward feather. Little hint, by the way. Next time you're flying, try flapping your paws. I make my way over to a broken wooden barrier, tiptoe over some scattered glass and twisted metal, cross the paved path, and arrive at the aardvarks. More sounds. They're coming from what looks like a demolished keeper's shed. I hesitate, not sure of what to do. It's a big mess and I'm a small guy. Also, my head hurts. I feel dazed, fuzzy. My ears are ringing. I yank off some small stray boards with my mouth. For the record, small stray boards have small stray nails in them. Underneath the boards, there are 3 shivering aardvarks, 2 babies and a mom. They're strange looking, I gotta say, with their piggy snouts and their bunny ears. You good, I ask? Well, what was that? The mother manages to ask. Some seriously bad weather. Is it over? I consult the wind. I doubt it. Do you think everybody's okay? She asks. I don't know. I sure hope so. And then it hits me. Ivan, Ruby, Julia, George. Look, I gotta go, I say in a strangled voice. Any part of your indoor den survive? She nods. I think so. Go there and lie low. Where's Pedro? The littlest aardvark asks. I feel my head with a front paw. A nice bump is forming. Who's Pedro? Our keeper. He'll come, I promise. Are you sure? The baby asks. I'm sure, I say, but of course I'm lying. Wow, that's really scary to have been in a tornado and it came so fast. Well, we'll find out tomorrow what happens next as Bob starts to discover how everybody's doing after the tornado. So I'll show you the beach one more time. So here's this kind of cool little tree behind me that I'm sitting by. And then as we turn, there's the water and you can see the mountains. It's really pretty outside. Beautiful weather, although a bit smoky. So I hope that you're having a good day yourselves, a happy Labor Day, and I'll see you soon. Bye, friends.